Hi everyone, this is AJ. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new alphabet letter series. Yeah, where I take a look at my DVD and 4K, steelbook, special editions, whatever it may be. And today we're looking at the letter M. M for Mike. Let's start. Okay, so fortnightly basis, I'm doing these videos. So in 2 weeks, it'll be N. 2 weeks ago, it was L. Yes, but I did neglect to show on the L's a couple of items because for reasons. So let's take a look at them. So yeah, so this is a bit of a mop-up. Only 2 items really, but the first one is Bruce Willis in Last Man Standing, which is the German release. Walter Hill directed. Fantastic film, really good. And the second one, I don't know how I neglected to show this because it's a famous franchise, really good films. And that's the Lethal Weapon collection. Yeah, all 4 films in one box. How I forgot that, I don't know. But there you go, these things happen. So let's get into the M's because there's quite a few. So we're going to speed through them. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, consider doing so. Come join the channel, comment. I'll reply to all comments. But let's hit it. Okay, so first up, M. In no particular order, so yeah, we'll see. The Man Who Killed Bigfoot. Yeah, film starring Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott is a fantastic actor. But really, I ain't got around to watching it yet, and I really wanted to watch this when it came out. You know, with a title like that, The Man Who Killed Bigfoot. No, The Man Who Killed Hitler and then the Bigfoot. Sorry, The Man Who Killed Hitler and then the Bigfoot. Come on. Yeah, obviously it could go under T, but the I usually put under. You know what I mean. So there's that one. Still sealed here, Machine Gun Preacher. This was a Poundland pickup, as you can see, Gerard Butler. Then we have a classic, and I got this from Germany as well. Mannequin. Yes, the 1980s classic comedy. Kim Cattrall stars, Andrew McCarthy. Very funny film, very good. Well worth a watch. And a film I used to like as a child, and it's still pretty good, Men at Work. Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez, where they're bin men. They get caught up in this sort of death, someone being killed and stuff like that. Golf clap. Then we have The Mountain Between Us. I like sort of survival stories. Then we have Disney Pixar classic in 4K, Monsters Inc. Yeah, a nice slip. Clint Eastwood, $1 Million Baby. Very, very good film. And German release of My Super Ex-Girlfriend. My Super Ex-Girlfriend. Uma Thurman and Luke Wilson, brother of Owen. Yeah, that's quite a fun film. And this is a fantastic film. Joe Pesci, Ralph Macchio, Marissa Tomei in My Cousin Vinny. Very, very fantastic film. Fantastic. Now, I have got all my steelbooks here, but we'll get on to them in a minute. Then we have Mr. Holmes with Ian McKellen. Yep. Then we have Men in Black 3. This was a Poundland pickup. This will come around again, obviously. Men in Black. Then we have Man on a Ledge. Poundland pickup. Not watched it. And then Moulin Rouge. Yes, directed by Baz Luhrmann, who's just directed the Elvis film. Lovely slip on that. Very good film. Nicole Kidman, Ewan McGregor. Kylie Minogue's in it. Then we have Sam Rockwell in Moon. Yes, this is still, but I have seen the film. Obviously, it was Poundland again. Whenever it's got that sticker on it. Yeah, I don't know why there's an L sat in there, but I showed that anyway last week. And then we have 4K version of The Mummy. And I have the Scorpion King in 4K as well. This will come round again. You will see that because I do have the sequels. Okay, then we have here The Meg. The books are very good. I've read the books. I'm looking forward to the sequel. It's a fun film, not as good as it could have been. when I took my kids to see it, we were kicked out of the cinema because the fire alarms went off and there was a fire in a shop opposite, and they were worried obviously that it would spread, so we didn't get to, it was literally that scene where the little girls in the tunnels and the shark is about to chomp on the glass and leave the teeth marks. You know, that scene that's famous in the, or infamous in the trailers, big trailer moment. It was at that point, literally at that point, that it just went dead. And out we went. But yeah, we did get back in to see it, obviously, but that was a few days later. So the Meg. Then we have Maverick, Mel Gibson, Jodie Foster, James Garner, based on the TV series. Richard Donner directed, Lethal Weapon franchise, Superman the movie. Then Denzel, Man on Fire. And it's in a bag, but the bag's been caught up. Matrix 4K, first one. It's the only one I have in 4K, and this will come around again. I don't have the latest one because I didn't like it at all, switched it off. Then we have another Clint Eastwood, The Mule. Again, good film. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. You'll see a bit later that I do have the first. My Bloody Valentine. Stars, what's his face from Supernatural, doesn't it? My mind's gone blank. Jensen Ackles, that's it. It's actually got 3D glasses in there. I won't watch it in 3D. And then we have Mortal Kombat Legends, Battle of the Realms, animated Mortal Kombat film. Yeah, that was the second animated Mortal Kombat film. Then I have a Mortal Kombat steelbook, the first two Mortal Kombat films. Decent film, the first one. Second one, rubbish. But the steelbook was nice. And I got it for the first film. Then we have another Men in Black, Men in Black International. This steelbook cost me like £4. It's not a great film, but for £4, I wasn't going to sneeze at a 4K steelbook. Then we have another version of the Meg. Which is the Blu-ray version. I think the one I showed before was the 4K steelbook. Nice steelbook. And I love this steelbook here, and that is for Mars Attacks. Now, Mars Attacks will come back round again with another nice cover that I really liked, that I got just for the artwork. I'll show you when I get to it. But that's one of my favourite steelbooks. That really is a truly, it's got, you know, lovely design, lovely colouring, embossing. Mary Poppins Returns, still sealed, 4K. Obviously I have seen it. And the Magnificent Seven, the newer version, steelbook. And from Germany, Maggie, the Arnold Schwarzenegger sort of zombie, his daughter turned into a zombie slowly film. Nice steelbook on that as well. Continuing with that steelbook thing, we have Midway 4K version in a sort of with a slip and a steelbook within. It was a decent film, but it looked very cartoony, shall we say? The Mummy, yeah, the original version. Alex Ross, artist, drew the cover. He's done them on all of these. He's quite renowned in the comic book circle as an artist, cover artist. And then we have Mystery Men. You know, the Ben Stiller comedy film. And then we have an embossed version of the Muppets, the movie. Yeah, the Amy Adams movie film. Lovely steelbook. Lovely, lovely steelbook. Then we have Mulan. You see that some of these are still sealed, just because I'd got the steelbooks later than I got the standard ones. I don't think I got standard Mulan, just I watched it on Disney Plus and never opened the steelbook yet. So that's why it's still sealed. Muppets I got later, that's why it's still sealed. And then I have a lovely version of Mulan, the animated film, Disney steelbook. And Murder on the Orient Express, which I did like. I really like this. I prefer it to the second one quite considerably. Keeping with Mortal Kombat, We have Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge, which is the first of the animated films. And we have here 4K version of Mortal Kombat, the newer film, with a sort of double-sided and flip at either side for Sub-Zero and Scorpion. So that's good. One more steelbook, well, a couple more steelbooks actually. So then we have here Masters of the Universe. Yes, this is a big steelbook in that it is somewhat larger, more like DVD size almost. But it does have in it, let's open it up and have a look. It has the DVD. So here's the steelbook like that. It's so much embossing on that, with Dolph on the back, and inside you do get the Blu-ray and the DVD. So yes, and that came from a European territory. I don't know which one though. It looks like sort of Dutch or somewhere like that sort of release with those little logos. I may be wrong, someone might be able to correct me. And then I have a version here of Mad Max Fury Road in this steelbook. Open it up like so. Yeah, this is actually a steelbook from the Mad Max PlayStation 4 game. And I adapted it for use with one of the spare copies of the film that I had. So that's that. Yes, very good. Very, very good. So, continuing on, we have here, let me bring this a bit closer to me so I ain't got to reach so far. We have Machete. Yeah, Danny Trejo, the first Machete film. Enjoyable sort of romp. Grindhousey type of a film. And then we have Machete Kills with a lovely lenticular on the box like that. Shame they didn't do the third one. And then we have Mamma Mia, the first one. I haven't got the second one. And we have Mandy. But I think I've got another copy of this as well. Up there somewhere. We'll come to that. And here's that other Mars Attacks I was talking about. Look at that, that's fabulous. I love that case, I really do. But I think this was a German release or the like. It wasn't UK. I just loved the artwork on it. I just thought it's really nice. So I got it for that reason. Then we have The Martian Extended Edition. And we're back round to Masters of the Universe Blu-ray. This one I had first. Yeah. Good old He-Man. Then I do have Blu-rays of 3 Matrix films, like so. First one's good. The other two, I've never really revisited them. Then we have here The Men Who Stare at Goats. Yeah, so this film, George Clooney, Jeff Bridges, Ewan McGregor, Kevin Spacey. Okay, questionable about Kevin Spacey, but what a great cast. Good film as well. Then we have The Mechanic, Jason Statham, which is a remake, I think, of what's his name? Death Wish guy, innit? And then The Mechanic Resurrection, which I got from Poundland. It's still sealed, and I've not watched it. Midnight Run, one of my favourite Robert De Niro films. Fantastic film. Love it. It's an 18, but mainly because of the language in it. It's swearing every other minute. But it's such a really, really good film. Superb. Martin Brest film. Charles Grodin stars. Just fabulous. If you ain't seen it, it's a film I would highly recommend. Really would. Then we have Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible 2. Mission Impossible 3. If you can hear shaking, it's because usually what I do is with my DVDs, I just sort of stick them in because I don't have them in their cases anymore. I just sort of put them into the Blu-ray cases just so they're there. Ghost Protocol. Rogue Nation. And Fallout. Yeah, so the Mission Impossible films up to date. Blu-ray, I ain't got them on 4K. I'm surprised the latter one I didn't get on 4K, but there you go. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Decent film. Then we have Mission to Mars. Now this again is a German release, I believe. I've got the DVD in there kicking around. It's either French or German, something like that I got it from. But I love this film. I know it had a lot of flack. It got a lot of criticism. Brian De Palma film, but for me it worked. I think the soundtrack is fantastic. A lot of emotion in the film. It really did work for me. Then we have Momentum. Starring Olga Kurylenko and James Purefoy. Yeah. The Monuments Men, or Monuments Men, I should say, Monuments Men. The Monuments Men, with a cast like that, George Clooney, Matt Damon, Bill Murray, John Goodman, Cate Blanchett, you'd have thought it would have been better than what it actually was, which is unfortunate. Then we have, with a lenticular, the film Monsters, which is a good character study. It's a good film. Yeah. And a steelbook for Monsters Dark Continent, which is like the sort of sequel. But I've never watched it. Never watched it, even though I got the steel. I got the steelbook very cheap. And then I have this special edition version of Mean Girls. The, what version is this? Oh, the Burn Book edition or something. I don't know. It opens up, it's got crap in it. But there we go. Now, should this next one go under A or M? It's under M anyway, so it's A Monster Calls, which I thought was a very, very good film. Sigourney Weaver starred, Jeff Goldblum. No, Liam Neeson done the monster, so Jeff Goldblum, I don't know why I've got him in mind. Felicity Jones stars in it. Yeah, that was good. That was good. I enjoyed that. Then we have here, okay, an interesting one, Mortal Kombat Legacy, which was like a web series of Mortal Kombat. Michael J. White is in it. 7 of 9, Jerry Ryan, Star Trek Voyager, and currently Picard. Yeah, there was a second season as well. I got the first on Blu-ray. Then we have Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Yeah, it's okay. And then I said the Mummy would come back round again, so I got this steelbook, still sealed actually, of all the 3 Mummy films on Blu-ray. The first one, obviously, I got on 4K. It's the only one I'd get on 4K. The third one, I've never even been able to get through. Never been able to get through it. Just dragged and dragged. And Tom Cruise is the Mummy. Was it as bad as what people made out? I don't think so. My original copy of Murder on the Orient Express, I then got the steelbook cheap after. And then we have the Mutant Chronicles. Thomas Jane, Punisher, John Malkovich and Ron Perlman starring in this sci-fi film. Now next up is a German digibook release. Again, it is for the film Mission to Mars. Yeah, I saw this one on the Amazon site. Obviously it's all in German, but it's got a nice book in it and that sort of thing. And DVD there, Blu-ray. Just a nice sort of collector's edition release. And the Mad Max Fury Road 4K Titans of Cult set, which I think is their 3rd release, which is really nice release. Let's have a look at the steelbook in there. I haven't looked at it for a while. Okay, yeah, there is that steelbook within. Also, keeping with Titans of Cult, I did get the Titans of Cult Matrix release as well, which I thought was a very nice looking steelbook. So, I've sorted out a few more now. Here we have a 4K version of Men in Black 3. Still sealed, as you can see. Not watched it in 4K yet. I got that very cheap. And this one here is, oh, you can still see the price, Man of Steel. 3D version. I only bought this because of the lenticular, I'll be honest. I've got Man of Steel in 4K, and I've got another Blu-ray of it up there somewhere. But I like the lenticular, and it was brand and spanking new looking, so I thought I'd get it. Now, fantastic Bruce Willis film, My Name is Bruce, in which Bruce Willis, Bruce Willis, what am I saying, Bruce Willis? Bruce Campbell film. Bruce. Anyway, Bruce Campbell film, fantastic Bruce Campbell film, in which he plays himself, or a sort of version of himself, a caricature style version of himself. Very funny, very funny. Mad Max Fury Road in 3D. You'll see quite a bit of Mad Max actually. And then I have this gasoline tin edition of Mad Max, the trilogy. So it comes in this. I've had this for years. Open it up, pull the lid off, and inside you have the trilogy on Blu-ray. Obviously this was before Fury Road, this came out. Mad Max collection. That's a really nice collector's piece. Film with a very, very brave ending, The Mist. Frank Darabont directed, based on Stephen King, I believe. Yes, The Mist, yep. Thomas Jane, Punisher. Very good. Nicolas Cage and Selma Blair in Mum and Dad. I enjoyed this as a horror sort of type of film. Very good. And a Poundland pickup. I started taking the Poundland CEX, so I went taking the price off, and that was Misery for £6. Kathy Bates and James Caan. Stephen King as well. Jim Carrey in The Mask, based on a comic book by Dark Horse Comics. The comic book was actually very, very dark and sort of very violent, sort of humour to it. Then another comedy, Meet the Spartans, very much a comedy of its time. Taking a mick out of things that were occurring at the time, so it hasn't aged very well in that respect. Not a great film, but it's one of them silly films that, you know, it's all right for a 70-minute watch. Is it 70 minutes? Not very long, is it? Can't be. 82 minutes. There you go. And then Simon Pegg in a film called Man Up. This was very good. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was fantastic. Simon Pegg and Lake Bell. Lake Bell voices Poison Ivy in the Harley Quinn animated TV series. And it also stars the anal birthing of Rory Kinnear. Sorry, I couldn't remember his name, but I know that I titled a review of a film called Men, which, ironically, we're doing M, and I'll never get the film, called Men, and I called it or the anal birthing of Rory Kinnear, and that's how I associated his name to this. But he was very good in this. It was very funny. It was really good. Rory Kinnear is quite a good actor. Just that film was a mess. That Men. So the other Man of Steel, the Blu-ray version I've got is that. Yep. Then I have the movie Mothra. You know, one of the Japanese monster Toho type of efforts, which I do enjoy. I do enjoy them. And back to Mad Max. Like I said, Mad Max hadn't gone anywhere, and that is this steelbook set here for the Mad Max quadrilogy, shall we say. Now, I got this not long ago from Germany, I think, or France, and it was half the price of when it first came out. This was not far off the price of the full price of the standard set, so that's how I got it. I'd wait for it to drop. If I missed out, I missed out. But yeah, lovely set, very nice. I only have a dozen to get through now. So the first one I've got here is Maximum Overdrive, Emilio Estevez, an 80s sort of film thing based on a Stephen King book about these lorries and vehicles that run awry and try killing people. A bit like The Car or Christine, that sort of a thing. Now, the only reason I watched this, which wasn't long ago, and I've done a review, was because of one of my viewers, Stephen Luther, who recommended it. So thusly, I sought it out and watched it. It was all right. Then I have Mark Wahlberg in Mile 22. And another Mary Poppins Returns. I like the slip on it. Actually, I got this first, and then the 4K steelbook came up very cheap. That's how I got, got it. Then we have Muppets and Muppets Most Wanted, the newer films. Oh, I do have a live-action Mulan with a slip. Yeah, I didn't think I had that. Anyway, I must have got two for some obscure reason. But it's got a lovely slip on it. I think it was this came out with the slip after, and I thought that's a really nice slip. And I got it for that slip, basically. Monsters University, obviously I showed Monsters Inc. a little while ago. And Maleficent, the first one. Obviously I showed the second one a little earlier in the video. And then we have Jean-Claude Van Damme in Natasha Henstridge in Maximum Risk. I don't mind a bit of Jean-Claude Van Damme. Dan Aykroyd, Kim Basinger, My Stepmother is an Alien from Arrow. And a 4K version of Man of Steel. And I've got another 4K version because I've got the Justice League Trilogy box set. I know. And then last, but certainly not least, and this is the last item, I believe, for M's. I have been through everything with a fine-tooth comb, I think. And that is, I'll put all these films under this, under the M's. It's still sealed, but it's the Man with No Name trilogy, Clint Eastwood. Yes. So there we have it. M's. Quite a lot. So fantastic. Let me know if there's any films you think that I've missed out on. Fantastic M-related films that you can think of that I haven't got in the collection. Yeah, let me know. Drop me a comment down below. Hit the subscribe button. Come back and join me in 2 weeks' time for N. N for November. Yes. Learn a bit of phonetics as we go along, shall we? It's halfway through the alphabet, but let's start using a bit of phonetics. Lima, Mike, November. I use it at work all the time, so there we go. Anyway, it's AJ. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care and goodbye.